where we give you the strategic shortcut to expertise. Today, we are strapping in, locking and loading, and diving straight into an absolute 16-bit masterpiece.
We're talking Contra Spirits, or as you might know it internationally, Contra III, the Alien Wars.
That's the one. And this deep dive is really for you if you love seeing how gaming history was made and how it was made with a ton of explosions.
A ridiculous amount of explosions. We're looking at the 1992 Super Famicom release that basically set a new bar for the whole series.
Exactly. This wasn't just another sequel. Konami was making a statement. The sources we looked at call it destroy action, which is pretty accurate. It's just this relentless, over-the-top production.
There's this one phrase from a Japanese analysis that I think just nails it. The production values are, and I'm translating here, in a good way, stupid.
Yes, that's perfect.
It's just brilliantly dumb. And so important because this was the first Contra made from the ground up for a home console, not an arcade port. They had total freedom.
And that's our mission today. We're going to unpack why this game is considered such a classic. We'll get into the hardware, the huge changes to the gameplay, and why some of its best ideas were also kind of a nightmare.
So to really get it, you have to picture the scene. The year is 2636 AD. The aliens have finally had it with the Contras.
Right, they're done messing around. They launched this massive, full-scale invasion.
And the key thing the sources point out is that humanity was, well, helpless. This was total defeat. For 6 months, the aliens rule over these ruined cities. It's a proper post-apocalyptic setting.
But then, out of the rubble, two guys show up. The last, best hope. Bill Rizer, player 1, and Lance Bean, player 2.
The Contras, the ultimate anti-alien commandos. And I love that the sources are explicit about this. Bill is based on Schwarzenegger, and Lance is based on Stallone.
It tells you everything you need to know about the tone, doesn't it? This is peak 80s action hero logic in a 90s video game.
And their opening lines, pure gold. Bill gets all serious and says, "We won't forgive them."
Classic Arnie. But then Lance just brings the chaos, shouting, "Let's give them a flashy welcome."
And boy, do they ever. The game is 6 stages of exactly that.
Yep.
4 are your, standard side-scrolling running gun stages.
But those other 2, stages 2 and 5, the top view stages, that's where Konami immediately started showing off what the Super Famicom could really do.
That's the hardware showcase right there.
So before this, Contra was mostly about reflexes, just pure Twitch gameplay, see a thing, shoot a thing.
Right.
But here, they made the whole system just smarter. And the biggest change, the one that redefines everything, is that you can carry 2 weapons.
That is the absolute game changer. Being able to hold 2 weapons at once and just tap a button to switch between them. It sounds simple, but it adds this whole strategic layer that just wasn't there before.
Because in the old games, you found the spread gun and that was it. You prayed you didn't die and lose it.
Exactly. Here, you have to switch. It's built into the design.
So that must mean the weapons themselves are more balanced. No more throwaways, right? Let's break down the arsenal. There are 6 main types.
For sure. You start with the machine gun, the M high rate of fire, but super low power, pretty much useless on bosses.
Then you've got the classic spread gun, the S. Still great for clearing out crowds of enemies with that 5-way shot.
But, and this is a critical change, each individual shot is weaker now.
Wait, so that was a deliberate choice to stop people from just relying on it all the time like we did on the NES?
100%. It was a balancing act. If you want the spread gun to do max damage, you have to get right up in an enemy's face so all 5 shots connect.
Which is super risky.
Totally. It forces you to think. And in the top view stages, it becomes a 3-way shot with a fast fire rate, so its role completely changes depending on the level.
Okay, my personal favorite has to be the fire gun, the F. I remember being a kid and just thinking the flamethrower was the coolest thing ever.
It was amazing. Its big thing was that it was short range, but really high power. And its killer app was that it could penetrate obstacles.
Oh, right, like those turrets behind barriers in Stage 3.
Exactly. The fire gun was the only safe way to take them out. It rewarded you for knowing the level layout.
Okay, so what about long range?
That's your laser gun. The L, high power, but super low rate of fire in the side view stages. It's for precision shots, not crowd control. Then it turns into this awesome continuous beam in the top view stages.
And the homing gun, H?
Yep. Low power, but it does the aiming for you. Incredibly useful in those chaotic top view stages where you need to focus on just dodging.
And finally, the one you say for the big guys, the crush gun, C.
The boss killer. Short range, slow fire rate, but the damage from its continuous explosion is just off the charts. You see a mid-boss, you switch to crush, and you just unload. That's the strategic depth right there.
So the whole system is smarter. But what about when you die? Did they make that less soul-crushing? Because losing the spread gun in the original was just the worst feeling.
Oh, they totally rethought it, and it's brilliant. Here, when you die, you only lose the weapon you have equipped.
No way! So your backup weapon is safe.
It's still there, you respawn, you're not naked, you immediately switch to your backup gun, and you're right back in the fight.
That's huge. It completely removes that old panic. It makes you feel like you can actually recover from a mistake.
It was a genius design choice. It lowered the frustration massively, and they also just made the controls feel better. You could hold the R button to plant your feet and aim.
Oh man, the stationary shooting was a lifesaver, made diagonal shots so much easier.
And you could hang from railings and climb up walls. You were so much more mobile and capable. You felt like a super soldier.
But they also gave you a new way to mess up spectacularly. The air spin.
The ultimate risk-reward move. So cool, lets you shoot in all directions in midair.
But if you die while doing it,
You lose both weapons. Konami giving with one hand and taking away with the other. Maximum style, maximum penalty.
Okay, so we've touched on it, but let's really get into why this game was such a spectacle. We're talking about a masterclass in using the Super Famicom's hardware, specifically Mode 7.
Mode 7 was the magic bullet for the SNES. It handled all the rotation and scaling effects, and Konami went absolutely wild with it.
You'd be running along in a side view stage, and suddenly these huge bomber planes would fly in from the background, getting bigger and bigger. It gave the game this incredible sense of depth.
And in the top few stages, when a boss falls from the sky and grows to fill the entire screen. I mean, come on. Nothing else on consoles looked like that at the time.
The whole presentation was just next level. The music was amazing, fit every stage perfectly, but the sound effect that is burned into my brain forever is the death scream.
Ah, yes. The iconic wah.
Wow, it's so weirdly funny. It almost feels like the game is making fun of you for dying.
And if you fall into a pit, it echoes, whoa, whoa, whoa. It adds this weird, charming layer of humor to your failure.
It really does. But beyond the tech, the sources all agree that the weapon balance is maybe the best in the whole series, even better than the NES games.
It's not even close. Like you said, on the NES, it was spread gun or nothing. Everything else felt like a punishment.
But here, because you can carry two and every weapon has a clear purpose, there's no single best choice. You actually use the whole arsenal. No trash weapons.
It forces you to be strategic.
Eh.
And that variety carries over into the level design, too. There are only 6 stages, but they feel huge because they're constantly changing.
Stage 1 is the perfect example. You start on the street, then you're blowing up a fortress, then you're riding on an armored car, then the whole city is on fire.
It's like 4 levels packed into one. It never lets you get comfortable.
It's like 4 levels packed into one. It never lets you get comfortable.
But we have to talk about Stage 4. If we're defining flashy and over the top, this is it. This is the moment I was convinced the developers were just delightfully insane.
Stage 4 is pure video game nirvana. It starts on a jet bike, the music is kicking in, you're fighting a tank called Booby Go, which is a great name. Then you're fighting a giant battleship. Standard stuff.
Right. But then, after the mid-boss, it just goes completely off the rails. You get launched into the air, and you have to grab onto a missile.
A missile fired by your own side. You're riding a friendly missile through the air while fighting a rocket ninja.
Rocket ninja named Sasaki. You can't make this stuff up.
And you think, okay, that's it. That's the peak. It can't get any crazier.
But it does. To destroy the battleship's core, you then have to jump between other massive missiles that are flying towards the screen.
You are using your own army's incoming barrage as temporary platforms.
To fight a boss.
Yeah.
In midair. It's the most absurdly, brilliantly, wonderfully stupid thing. It's Konami at their absolute peak.
For all its genius, though, it wasn't perfect. The sources point out some pretty significant issues.
Yeah, let's talk about the tricky parts. A lot of it comes down to difficulty and some strange design choices, like the score system.
Which is basically invisible. Why would they hide your score in an arcade-style action game?
It's a bizarre choice. You get extra lives based on your score, but you have no idea how close you are. The only time you see your score is after you beat a level, or, get a game over.
It just removes a whole layer of strategy. You can't play for points, you can only play for survival.
But the real wall that players hit, the thing that gives this game its brutal reputation, is that late game boss difficulty. Specifically, the Stage 6 boss rush.
Ugh, the boss rush. It's a nightmare. It's just one after another after another. Jabba, Gamera Mosking, Kimku.
And here's the really cruel part. If you get a game over at any point during that entire sequence,
All the way back to the beginning of the rush, not the specific boss you're on, the very beginning.
it's just devastating. It demands perfection for like 10 straight minutes. After all that, you fight the brain Saru, who then gets in a giant exoskeleton to become the real final boss. It's just relentless.
To be fair, they seem to know it was insane. There's a 30 lives cheat code, right?
Yep, the Connie Code's cousin, which kind of feels like an admission that maybe, just maybe, they made it a little too hard.
The other big critique is about those top view stages, the Mode 7 showcase.
Technologically incredible. As a gameplay experience, debatable.
So you run around with the D-pad, but the L and R buttons, they rotate the entire screen. Your character stays in the middle, and the whole world just spins around you.
It is so disorienting. You're trying to move, dodge, and aim while also manually spinning the camera. It's a lot to process. Your brain is fighting the controls.
Yeah, and you have to get used to it fast. The sources even mention that the massive screen rotation could literally make some players feel sick.
Motion sickness from a 16-bit game.
Yeah.
It's a heck of an achievement, I guess. It was ambitious. They even had a split-screen two-player mode in those stages, which is wild. But intuitive is not the word I would use.
So when you put it all together, what's the final verdict?
It's a masterpiece, no question. Its success is that perfect Konami blend of high stakes, serious action, and this weird, goofy sense of humor like the Wah-Oh scream. It was just the perfect conclusion to that alien war story.
And the good news is, it's pretty easy to play today. You just need to pick the right version.
Big warning here. You want to avoid some of the ports. The Game Boy one is missing a lot. And the Game Boy Advance one, Contra Spirits, sounds right, but it's a weird hybrid that actually removes the two-weapon system.
It takes out the core strategic mechanic. Why would they do that?
I have no idea. So for the pure experience, you want the original Super Famicom version. It's on the Virtual Console, the SNES Classic Mini.
But the absolute best bet for modern consoles.
The Contra Anniversary Collection from 2019, it has the original Japanese version, the US version, all of it. It's the definitive way to play.
So for you, the learner, the takeaway is this. Contra Spirits was a landmark. It proved that an action game could have real strategic depth, not just fast reflexes. It was all wrapped in this unbelievably cinematic package that pushed the SNES to its absolute limit.
And we keep coming back to Stage 4. Think about the sheer audacity of asking the player to use friendly missiles as platforms. It's not just about dodging enemy fire anymore.
It's about weaponizing the entire screen, your own attacks included. It's totally bonkers.
It is. So we'll leave you with this to think about. How did Konami keep raising the stakes in such impossible ways? And what does it say about the spirit of these Contra heroes? That they don't just survive in these insane situations, that they actually thrive on the chaos.
Go find one of the modern ports and see if you can stick the landing on that missile jump. We'll catch you on the next Deep Dive.